So it's July 10th, and we are back in Georgia. So if you followed my Instagram stories, you've seen that I did a lot of bow hunting out here on this particular piece last fall. I got permission to hunt this piece real late in the summer, right before season started, and I didn't really have a good opportunity to scout it good. So I got on Google Earth, I got on onX Maps, and I picked me out of what I thought would be a decent spot, run in here, hung a stand, threw some corn out, and I hunted it. So the only problem with that is that that was the only spot that I hunted all year. Now, it turned out to be a really good spot. I had a lot of good deer encounters, got a lot of good game camera pictures, and was able to get lucky enough to kill a young buck. But this little piece has more potential than what I was able to tap into last fall. So at the end of the season, I got down and I scouted this out. I waited for the leaf cover to get off, and was able to pick out a couple spots that I thought would help me to be a little bit more successful out here. So leading up to that, I've got these spots marked on onX. I've got a plan for this fall for what I want to do and how I want to hunt it. The stands that I want to hang and things such as that. But leading up to that, I want to get out here and take a little bit of inventory and see what deer are still here, what new deer might be back or might have moved into the area, and see about some of the growth on the younger deer that I was getting pictures of. I was getting pictures of a lot of young bucks, and I want to see how they've matured. I want to get some good velvet pics. So I'm out here today to put out some minerals, some trophy rocks, and to get some game camera set so that I can get an idea of what I'm going to run into. Now, the early season here, I believe it's middle of September it opens up. It's hot, it's miserable, the bugs are terrible, but I really think it's going to be my best chance at one of these better deer. So we're going to go on up in here, we're going to get some of this mineral out, we're going to set the camera up, the game cam, and then we'll move on down to this other spot. So we're in here in the spot, and there was an old trophy rock here that I had out last fall, and it's pretty much used up. My tree stand, I don't know if you can see that red oak right there. That red oak right there beside that pine. That's where my tree stand was at last fall. And the deer would come up this trail that I just walked up into this set, and occasionally they would come from the north and come down that side over there, and that spot worked really good for not being detected. The wind was right typically for this spot. Didn't have any trouble getting busted. It just worked out really good, but I felt like I was out of the game on those deer coming from the north. So I really would like to find a different stand location, and I've thought about this big pine here, but this hickory gets in the way. There's several different little things that keep me from wanting to be in that tree. In addition to that, the further up the hill to the north I get, the more chance I have of getting winded if I get a swirl or a thermal. So I'm not sure. I'll show you this spot here where this old trophy rock was. You can tell they've got it beat down. I just set that rock on that old piece of stump there, and I'll probably put this other one here in the same place. I was feeding a lot of corn in here. You can tell that they've really been in here working on this little spot where that trophy rock was. So I'm going to look around here just a minute and see if I maybe couldn't reposition this mineral lick and put myself in a better location. Okay, so I've looked this over pretty good, and here's what I've decided. The way this set lays out is the deer are coming from the south in the bedding area. Well, there's two bedding areas. There's a bedding area in the south, and there's a bedding area in the northeast. Typically, the prevailing winds in this spot comes out of the northwest. There's the wind that'll usually come straight through here. And where I had my stand last year worked out really good because the deer they're just not bedding back in there where I'm coming from. And my entryway into this place lets me just walk right into the back of this stand, not leave a scent trail, and not my wind is not being blown into any of the bedding areas. I really feel like they're sitting up there and watching me come in, but I also think that once I get past them, they don't really know where I'm at. So they go on about their pattern, and as long as they don't bust me in this spot, I'm good, I'm golden. So what I'm gonna do when I get back from Arkansas with my stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and come back in here, and I'm gonna hang that stand right back in the same spot that it was in. But I've got me a couple of spots picked out just to the north of this spot that if I feel like I'm getting skirted, there'll be good locations for a hanging hunt. I can just come in here real early and pop up in one of them little old trees and be in good shape. The problem with those spots is that there's a really good chance that if they don't come straight out of that north bedding, then I'm gonna get winded. If they come in from this south bedding, I'm screwed. They're gonna wind me. So it's a risk versus reward type setup to hunt in the north end of this set. The original stand location, it's pretty safe. It's a spot that I can hunt multiple times and not hurt myself, not blow this spot out. And that's one reason why I want to go right back to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this mineral out, get this camera hung, and then we're gonna move on to the next spot. There's a camera. There's the mineral site. And that red oak tree right over there is going to be where my stand's going to be. So I think we're in good shape here. We'll gather our stuff up and we'll move on down to the next spot here. That's another thing about this in here and this time of year, hanging these minerals. I got lucky there. Just a big old black snake. But they have definitely got the rattlesnakes in here. So we gotta have to be a little more careful, pay more attention. So like I was saying, entrance in and out, very critical. I know the deer are seeing me coming in and out of this place. But as long as I can get into my set and without spooking them, and I've got the wind in my favor, I'm not worried about them seeing me coming in and out because they see a lot of people come in and out. They're used to that. And there's really nothing I can do about it. There is only one way in and out of this place. It's narrow and there's a road that runs right through the middle of it. So that's pretty much it for today. We've got both our blocks out, got our mineral out, got our cameras out. The next step will be to hang some stands, do some clear some trails, and to look at possibly a poor man's food plot in that one spot. It's hot. Obviously you can see me sweating. Nasty snakes, bugs, but this is the stuff that will put that deer in front of you come this fall. You do your homework and take the steps during the off season, it'll pay off during deer season. So it's July 29th, and a couple of weeks ago we were back in this area and we put out a couple of mineral licks. We put out some attractant mineral and a couple trophy rocks and put our cameras out, right? So I wanted to come in here today. It's the very end of July, and I wanted to come in here today and prepare this area that I found back this past spring to make a little attractant plot. This spot is not big at all. It's not gonna put big racks, and it's not gonna attract a lot of deer, but it's a little spot that is on a natural travel corridor anyways, and it should be able to funnel the deer through here to give me a good shot. Now I scouted this spot again this past spring, and there was a lot of sign right in here. There's some bedding just real close right here to the north, be the east, and then the main travel corridor in this area runs right down here to the south of me just a little bit. There was a bunch of scrapes and rubs right here in this area that I marked on Onyx, and I found this little opening. So I'm gonna kind of pan around here. As you can see, this is already kind of a natural opening. Some dead trees in here and a bunch of old dead fallen limbs and stuff. So what I need to do is come in here and open this up just a little bit, pick up some of these dead limbs, push them to the side, and make me a little attractant plot. Now, I've done this a lot in the past. They're real effective. They're easy to do. You can do it with just simple hand tools for the most part. So, and that's how I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to get started trying to get this spot cleaned up, get some of these bushes trimmed out of here, these sticks picked up, and get this ready for this fall. That wasn't too bad. We got all the brush cleared out. The worst part about doing it like that is that it makes me leak. So now it's August the 19th. It's been over a month since we set these mineral sights and these cameras out. We're back in here today to pull cards on the cameras and to hang a stand. I've got my stand and some other tools in here to use to cut some shooting lanes and get everything put into place. We're only going to hang one stand today on my food plot spot. I'm going to wait a little. I'm going to wait till I probably put that plot in, which is still going to be another 3 or 4 weeks before I hang that stand. But we'll get in here and we'll pull this card. We'll hang this stand on this primary spot, and then we'll drive back and walk back in and pull the card on that other camera. All right, so we got the stand hung. If you can see it, it's right there in that red oak. I'm gonna trim a few limbs, a couple of shooting lanes, and then I'm gonna pull this card and we're gonna get out of here. So not just a ton of pictures on that camera. We're going to sweeten the deal a little bit. I've got some corn I'm going to put out, and then we'll come back here in a week or two and check it. We'll probably check the camera about once a week between now and season, try to get an idea and a pattern on these deer so I can decide where I want to hunt that first week of season. So hopefully we've got some good pictures. Don't have very many, but we'll hopefully have some good ones. Put some corn out and go pull that other card. All right, so we made it back in here to this second camera, this mineral sight. Let's take a look here and see what it looks like. About like the other one. Looks like we've been getting a little bit of action. The camera again is right there. So it's hot, nasty, spiders, snakes. I'm gonna get the card, and then I'm gonna pick me a way out on the back side of this and see if I can't access this spot without leaving a bunch of ground scent coming in here. This is gonna be a great spot. All right, so let's stop right here for just a second and let's talk. So all the work, all the effort, all the time, a little bit of money that you've seen me putting into preparations for the upcoming season on this piece of property was for nothing. The very day that I hung my stand in there, the day that I started hanging stands, the day that I started pulling camera cards, I found out I got a call from the landowner and they leased the property. Now they didn't give me or any of the other guys that were hunting that property the option to lease it, and that may be for whatever reason, but the bottom line is it's not mine. The people that gave me the permission to hunt that property were gracious enough to do that, and I'm very appreciative of that fact. But now it's gone. So the moral of the story is have a plan B. Now my plan B is to look at some public land that's in the area and then start knocking on doors. I've got a couple of contacts here locally that I might be able to tap into that could give me some opportunities. Mr. Butterfly, he wants to get in on the camera. Give me some opportunities to hunt some private land here locally, but right now it's just boots on the ground. Get out into some of this little pieces of public land that's here local and see what we can't find. It's unfortunate. I was getting some good pictures. I was getting, I got one nice buck on film, on camera. I had some deer from last year that I was expecting to show back up this year. on that piece of private that that had permission to hunt. But it's not going to happen. So, like I said, I've got a couple small options for some private pieces that I'm going to look into. But right now, it's boots on the ground, doing some cyber scouting, try to find some public land options. I've always wanted to kind of to give that a try. I've never hunted any public land to speak of other than turkey hunting. So, looks like this year I'm going to get my wish. The the stuff on this video prior to this point right here, all those preparations, that's all still valid for me. That's all good information. That's how I do it. That's how I prepare to hunt places. I like to have a couple of years to hunt a spot to really get good with it. But if you only have 1 year to hunt it, I guess my best advice to you would be to take advantage of those opportunities. There's a lot of talk out there, a lot of scrutiny, and people, hammering on one another about killing young deer and killing big bucks and blah blah blah. Kill what you want to kill. Kill the deer that you want to kill. Be happy with what you kill, and enjoy your time. You don't have to please anybody but yourself. If it's a trophy to you, by all means, and give him a ride home in the back of your truck. Don't worry about what other folks are saying. Don't worry about what other folks think. Do what makes you happy and enjoy your time in the woods.